Hey, hello guys, my name is Angel Arrow, and in this video I'm going to talk to you a bit about the latest update we got today for the game Tank Force. As you all know, Tank Force is a mobile game that is also offered to us on PC through Steam and the Windows 10 application. Now, today we got update, let's see, it's 3.39 if I'm not mistaken. 3.39.2, 3.39.2. Initially the update was first released only for Steam users, but in the meanwhile we already got confirmation that also the Android and iOS users can play the update already. So what are the big changes in this update? If we watch to the official Facebook release notes, then the first thing is they are saying that the new map will be available after updating on all the platforms. What changes will be made to the update? So in this new update we will get the new map London, and London has of course the new battle arena Trafalgar Square, but they are only going to implement that new map after the update has been done on all the different platforms, so on iOS, Android, Steam and Windows application. But then we have also Facebook and VK social network and other stuff. So when the new map is coming, I don't really know. I can't put a date or a time on it, but it is coming after the update is released on all the different platforms. Right. The second thing on the agenda was that there were changes to the battle start. So now the team balancing happens before the battle, so it will take a little bit longer to go into battle because the two teams are already formed before the battle counter hits 0 and you can start driving and shooting. Before this update you could get into a battle that you were alone in your team, there was only one player in the enemy team or no player in the enemy team, and when you were driving your tank, team members got added to your team and the enemy's team. Now that is changed. That happens now before the battle even starts. So the third point is that there is some work done on the armored zones of a tank. So lately a lot of players are asking me, are there schematics of the weak spots, the weak points on a tank? Well, I have to say this: there are no weak spots on a tank. The tanks in this game, in Tank Force, doesn't have specific hit zones. The only rule that goes on for this game is if you hit a tank frontally on the front armor, you have only a 50% damage dealing. If you hit the sides, it's a 75% damage dealing, and if you hit him in the rear, in his ass, then you have a 100% damage dealing. Now there were people saying that you can also do 100% damage dealing on the sides and on the front. Well, that was exactly true. That was the fact. But the developers knew about that and they changed the armor zones on the tank. So it's still 50% frontal, 75% at the sides and 100% in the back. And the chance of doing a 100% damage hit on the front has been eliminated, or at least that is what they are telling us on the official Facebook release post. Another thing in this update 3.39 is the fact that there are new consumables added and new gears added to the game. And I will show you that right away. So for instance, for this tier 1 light tank, I go to the gear stuff, and we already know the extra armor, we already knew the reinforced chassis and the ramming device, we also knew the reinforced trigger. For premium tanks, we have the reinforced trigger is for the premium tanks. The reinforced repair kit was already in place for premium tanks, and the all-in armoring was also already in place for premium tanks. Now for this tank in particular, so it's a light tank, we got 4 new gears. We have improved clutch, that gives you a better tank rotation speed. We have a composite armor that reduces incoming damage by 20%. And we also have chance to reduce incoming damage by 70%. You can only use this or buy this if you have a VIP account. And then we have an immunity to drown, so you can't drown with this tank. If you buy this. So these things are only payable with gold, but the other gears we had was also with gold, except now there's a little difference. Before this update, when we sold gear, we got the entire amount of gold back. Now that's not the fact anymore. So starting from now, if you sell something, you only get 80% of the whole entire amount of gold back, or money back, or silver. So there is a wear out time, and you only get 80% back of your money. So these are the new gears. Then there's another change, equipment. There's also new equipment, and the new equipment and the gear is different for different tank classes. So now we are looking at a light tank. The ERC-90 is a light tank. So for the light tank we have, if you have a VIP account, you can buy repair. So that's something different than the universal repair kit we already have. And because this is a premium tank, I have another universal repair kit. Those are actually both the same. What the hell is going on here? But now we also have repair. That restores 25% of basic health during 5 seconds. Restore time 60 seconds. The action period is 5 seconds though. We also have armored plates. Reduces the incoming damage by 30% for 10 seconds. Decreasing moving speed by 20% and reloading speed by 10% for 12 seconds. Restore time 10 seconds. The action period time is 10 seconds, even though if we are speaking of 12 seconds. Reloading speed by 10% for 12 seconds, but the action time is 10 seconds. I don't know how this is going to work, but okay, that's a new equipment. Another new equipment is the intensive shooting. So that the intensive shooting increases your damage by 40% and reloading rate by 30% for 5 seconds. Restore time 40 seconds. The action time, of course, 5 seconds. But these are the new equipments for a light tank. Let's see if that is the same for instance, a medium tank. So now I have a medium tank here. For the medium tank we can see that the gear, the extra gear, is just the same. We have the improved clutch, we have the better gears, the dynamic protection, and the hydrophobic modules that gives you an immunity to drown. Let's go to the equipment. Here we have other equipment. We have the repair kit. The repair kit is the same for every tank class. So that restores 25% of basic health during 5 seconds, restore time 60 seconds, and the action period is 5 seconds. But then we have something new. We have the targeted shooting. Targeted shooting increases your damage by 40% and turret rotation by 15% for 10 seconds. but reduces the reloading speed by 15% for 15 seconds. So the restore time is 60 seconds and the action period is 10 seconds. So you will be able to do more damage. You can turn your turret 15% faster during 10 seconds, but the reloading speed will be reduced by 15% for 15 seconds. Well, I don't know if you want that on your tank, but here it is, a new equipment. And then the most important thing, if you ask me personally, I think that this disguise module is the most important thing, but I don't understand why they don't offer it to us on every tank class. So a light tank can't be disguised. The disguising thing is basically it hides your tank. You can't be detected for 10 seconds. The restore time is 1 minute and a half, 90 seconds. The action period time is, as I said, 10 seconds. So if you click that button, if you have the gear, the equipment installed, and you click that button, then your tank, poof, disappears for 10 seconds. This equipment is only offered on medium tanks and heavy tanks, not on light tanks, which is a bit odd to me, because with a light tank you go as fast as you can towards the enemy base, spotting as much vehicles as you can, and maybe if you are still alive you can start capping that enemy base. But for a light tank you are not able to activate the disguise module, because you just don't get it for a light tank, which is, like I said, a bit odd to me, but okay. And let's now see a heavy tank like the T-72 Ural. We go to the T-72 Ural. Here we have other things. So with the gear we have the improved clutch. The improved clutch gives an extra tank rotation speed. We also get a better gears that the turret speed is better, so the turning of your whole turret and your gun is going to be better. Then you have an extra turbine that you can only buy if you have a VIP account, and that gives you an extra vehicle speed. And then we also have the hydrophobic modules, so that gives you the immunity to drown. You can't drown with that vehicle. Alright, the equipment here, as you can see, we have the repair kit. That is if you have a VIP account, and that's the same for every tank class, light, medium, heavy. The disguise button is only for medium and heavy tanks, not for light tanks, which is a bit odd, but okay. And then for heavy tanks we get an extra equipment, a new equipment, and that is the positional shooting. That increases reloading speed by 50%, but you can't move during 10 seconds. So this equipment needs 90 seconds or 1 minute and a half restore time. When you hit the button, this equipment goes on for 10 seconds, and in those 10 seconds you will be able to reload 50% faster, but your tank will not move during those 10 seconds. So these are basically these are basically the new equipments. So the repair kit for every tank class, we have the positional shooting, we have the disguise module, and if we go to a medium tank we can also see that we get the targeted shooting. And for a light tank, that is, give me a light tank, we also get here it is, the intensive shooting. So increases your damage by 40% and reloading rate by 30% for 5 seconds, restore time 40 seconds. So these are the new equipments and the new gears. Now for everybody this is only payable with gold, but before this update all the equipment and gears were also payable with gold, not with in-game credits, so that's not really a problem. The thing is, keep that in mind, if you want to sell your gear or your equipment and you want to install other ones, you only get 80% back of what you've paid in the first place. So that is different regarding the update before, the version of the game before. So 80% is what you get from the total amount of money you spent initially on the equipment or the gear. Alright, another big change in this update are the decals. So decals are all payable with gold. You can't pay anything anymore with credits, it's all with gold. But this time the decals don't only give you better rounds per minute rate, so you can't not only shoot faster, the decals also give you an extra damage on AP and APCR shell. So before the update and the server update, it was only the camouflage that gave you more damage. The camouflage gave you the opportunity to do more damage. But since this update and the game update and the server update that happened a few days ago, now the decals also offer you a bigger damage dealing thing on every tank. So you will get tanks in this game that will probably be OP, just overpowered tanks. And that is for those dummies who spend their real money on the game to get VIP membership, and they install a VIP camo doing the most damage, and they install the biggest decal doing the most damage. So you will have, and there are people who spend real money on this game, unfortunately. But that's something else. You will encounter pretty OP tanks if you are such a player who don't want to spend real money in the game, just like myself. You will have to do your best to get things done without spending gold to decals, camo and premium rounds. Okay, and speaking of premium rounds, I didn't know that before, but there has been changes to the APCR rounds. So before this update, we all know that people who had the money to shoot APCR, to shoot the premium rounds, premium ammo, they did way more damage than those who were just shooting AP shells. Well, you have to know, now the developers made some changes on those APCR shells as well. Now the APCR shells, you can see these three little icons here: fire, turret and the gun ramming device or something. If you press that I button, you get the explanation about it. So it's the damage increased and give you a chance to expose your enemy to a random negativity. So it is a plus 20% chance that you get to set the enemy on fire, to disable the enemy turret's rotation, and even to disable the shooting of the enemy. So those are the three things where you get now the chance, if you shoot APCR damage, that you can, those are the three things you can disable with on your enemy's tank by shooting APCR tanks. I don't know, I don't think this is a great thing, because we already have equipment which gives us, like for instance the upgraded napalm cores. They set the foe on fire for 12 seconds and takes away 3% of the health in a second. So we have already special cores that gives us the ability to create a fire on the enemy, to disable their turret rotation and to disable their shooting. Now if you shoot APCR from this moment on, you will be able to do the same things. Okay, it's not a certainty like with the special cores we already had, but now you have a 20% chance of doing that. And if that 20% chance isn't well implemented in the game, you will see a lot of enemies going on fire, or a lot of teammates going on fire, or not being able to shoot back, or not being able to turn the turret. I don't know if, again, this is a good thing for the balance of the game. My personal opinion right now is, with all the changes they've made with the decals and the camo and the new gears and equipment, the only thing they want to do is to get in our pockets, and they want to take real money out of our pockets, because and maybe it will work, but on the other side their prices are ridiculous high. So it's ridiculous expensive to play VIP. It's ridiculous expensive to buy premium tanks. It's not as ridiculous high to buy that gear and equipment, but you have to put real money in the game first, otherwise you won't be able to buy those things. You need gold. This game, more and more, this game is going towards, we want to earn money fast, and that's it. And for those who spend real money, well, we have OP tanks for you. And those who doesn't want to spend money and want to play the game free to play, as it was initially planned, then yeah, fuck you. You will have problems against those who will spend real money in the game. So this game is really going from a free to play game to a pay to win game. Certainly, that's without a doubt the direction the game is going to. Alright, so let's see. Another thing that isn't related to gear and equipment and AP shells or APCR shells is the fact that the developers also found some time to upgrade the chat. Now in chat you will see a little smiley over here, so you will be able to put smileys in your chat. But once again, I already said that this game is made to get their hands in our pockets and to let us spend real money. Well, look at this. So they upgraded the chat, and now you can use different stickers. These stickers are to show people that you're angry or sad or that you're laughing or whatever, and you have two sets. But look at this, here in the upper right corner, you have to pay 500 gold to unlock these stickers. And then you have a second set of stickers, and therefore you have to pay 1000 gold to unlock the use of these stickers. So in total, if you want to use all these stickers, in total you will have to spend 1500 gold in order to use them into your chat. So, well done, Extreme developers. I will put my hands in my pocket, I will get some money out of it and buy me some gold just to use, or to be able, yes, to use these wonderful stickers. I don't think so. One other thing. In all the games that I play, the developers are doing their best to not have situations in chat where people are starting to say bad stuff to each other and to call each other bad names, and well, in every game the developers do their best to keep the chat as clean as possible. But what does Extreme developers do now? Look at the middle row, the middle sticker. It's a little tank doing just this. Yes, I don't know what that tank and the little finger is doing in those chat icons. So now you can basically just say in chat, fuck you. What are the developers thinking? Okay, and then one other thing, the tank that is putting his thumbs up, I don't know, but that thumb is the thumb of Facebook. I think if Mark Zuckerberg is going to see this tank with his Facebook thumb, is that copyrighted or something? But okay, Those are small chit chats. The thing is, you will have to spend 500 or 1500 gold before you can use these wonderful, because they are wonderful, they are funny, but you will have to spend 1500 gold in order to use these stickers in chat. Alright, what else do we have? Oh yeah, we have buttons here. The community button that will bring us straight to the Facebook page, the official Facebook page of the game Tank Force. So I'm looking now. Yeah, it brings you straight to the Tank Force community official Facebook page. That is what you see if you press that proceed button over here. So, well done developers, we asked for that since day one. Not. Alright. What else did they do? I'm just following the official things here now. So the team balancing happens before the battle starts and not during the battle start. The armor zones, I talked about that. The consumables, the smileys, the buttons, the gold rounds damage increased and added. Yeah. So not only that is also a thing. If you go look to the golden rounds, you don't only get a 20% chance of setting your foe on fire or disabling his turret rotation or something. Also, the damage the APCR round does went up. Really, it was already incredibly high. There was a big difference between AP and APCR shells, but now the difference is even higher. I don't know what the developers are thinking. They don't want OP tanks in their game, but the only thing they do is creating OP tanks. But only for those who want to spend real money in the game, unfortunately. Okay, another thing is, if you're playing a battle and you press the T button to get the commands on the screen to ask for help or to say attack or whatever, in the past you could do that and your tank kept on driving. A couple of updates ago they changed that, I don't know why, but they changed it. And if you press C or the tab button to see who is still alive and which tanks you are fighting against, your tank stops driving. That was just stupid. You are in the middle of a fight or you are in the middle of a drive and you are hasting towards a certain point, but you want to see which tanks you are fighting to. You press tab and boom, your tank stood still. Now they changed that again. Now if you press the tab button or the T button, your tank will keep on driving. Alright, it seems that also there will be some moderators added to the chat in-game. Probably I will be one of them. We are talking about moderators that I've made already moderator on the Discord, on the Tank Force Discord. And I've heard rumors that those persons would be able to be a moderator in the in-game chat. So probably I will be one of them. If I'm going to do that, I don't know, but we will see. That's a feature that they implemented. What else did they add? Feature of chat moderators has been added. Missing animation of shells flying has been fixed. Some minor bug fixes. There are a lot of bug fixes and technical fixes that they implemented in the game. Oh yes, this is also a thing that they listen to me. That is the fact that if you're playing on a PC and you're scrolling your mouse button to zoom in and zoom out, that was going really crazy. The one time you scrolled in one click and poof, you got zoomed in so much. But if you zoomed out again, it went in different steps. Well, now they changed the zooming animation, so it goes in pretty little steps now, and I already checked it out. It goes pretty well right now. Okay, what else? Radial indicators for buffs and debuffs have been added. I don't really know. Oh yeah, probably during a battle. We will do a battle in a bit, and probably during the battle you will be able to see a radial model somewhere on the screen where you can see the buffs or debuffs on a tank. I think that is what they are talking about. Okay, also, not all the players know that, but if you press the R button, you have a cruise control situation. So if you press R, your tank starts driving himself, and you had to press the R button again to disable that cruise control. Even if you pressed backwards or left or right or forward, the cruise control wasn't disabled. Now when you press R for the cruise control, you can disable the cruise control by just pressing the forward button or the backwards button. So that is also a pretty good change. Then they made some changes or better upgrades to the spawn points, where the enemy spawns when you are at a certain place and stuff like that. And there are a lot of changes in the in-game economy system. Basically, that is the things that were for sale for credits are now only for sale for gold. So these are in-game economy changes. If those are for the better of the players, I don't think so, but never mind. But that is an economy system change. Also the thing with the gear and the equipment that you only get 80% back of the money you spent initially. That's also a change in the game economy. The bouncing of the tanks, if you bounce against a dead tank already, the bouncing got decreased. That's already the 101st time that they are decreasing that, and it's still not fixed, but okay. And then there were some optimizations for the whole game and the effects. Also, I've played a couple of games already. You get some notifications, sound notifications, when your tank is reloaded and stuff like that. I have to be honest, that sounds pretty good. That's really good. Also, when you're in the city and you crash cars or you shoot at cars, you get the alarm of the car going on. That's all great and stuff, but I think after time this will be an annoying sound as well. So there has to be a point that the alarm stops going instead of going on and on and on and on until the battle is done. And that's basics. That is basically it about this update. So the most important changes are the changes with the equipment and the gear. So we got new gear, we got new equipment, but once again this is only for gold. And the thing is with gear that was already only for gold, but once you paid it, you have it for the rest of the time that you let it be on your tank, and that's still the way. But it's different for the equipment. For the equipment you have to pay that every time you use it during battle. So if you use those new equipment things in battle, it will cost you gold. So only the people who you even can be VIP. If you are VIP but you don't have gold on your account, you will not be able to use those special equipments. So I asked for a long time to the developers to implement a system to get unspotted again. I mean, if you are spotted in the game, you are spotted until the end of the battle. Nothing to do against that. You are spotted. You can be behind the house for 10 seconds, behind a hill for 10 seconds, no enemies around. If you were spotted before you place your tank behind something, it doesn't matter. You keep being spotted for the entire duration of the battle. Now, the developers did something about it, and they gave us now a disguise module. They gave us the opportunity to hide our tank for 10 seconds. And 1.5 minutes later we can do it again. Meaning, this is only for medium and heavy tanks, not for light tanks. But meaning, that you can relocate without the enemy knowing about it. So that's a good thing. I just don't know why it had to be for gold. So only the people who have gold on their account will be able to use that equipment. So only those people who spent real money on the game will be able to relocate without being seen by the enemy. That makes me so angry. So once again, developers, extreme developers, job well done. I don't think so. Okay guys, this is about it actually. I'm going to play some battles now. I'm going to show you one or two battles, and I'm going to show you and let you hear the sounds that you hear if the tank is reloaded, if you hit a car and stuff like that. Alright. So you can already hear here that the sound of the ticking of the clock is different, so that's a change. Here you can already see the battle didn't even start yet, but you can see that, oh fuck, I forgot to take the right tank. So now we have two teams, so if I press the tab button, the tank keeps on driving, so that's a good thing. If I press the T button and I ask to attack, the tank keeps on driving, so that is great. Also, the zooming in, the zooming out goes in different levels, and it's way better than it was before. So thank you, extreme developers. This is a big change, and it's a good change. Also listen to the reloading sound. Do you hear it? The reloading sound is terrific. That's also a big change, and a good change if you ask me. I will die probably because I mistakenly took my tier 1 tank, and I'm fighting like tier 4s and 5s if I'm not mistaken. So I'm dead. Do you hear the alarms behind me? There are alarms behind me going off. That's from the cars in the center of city. So I have to say, the smoothness in the game is better than before. So the smoothness is better. Also, it seems that the lag come on. The lags are gone, it seems. So there were some changes to the battle server as well. The lag is really like gone. Those are the car alarms. Really? I don't understand from where they are shooting me. Oh, he wasn't... Okay. Okay. So again, that's the alarm of a car. So there are some sound changes implemented. That's all great and stuff, but you know, that's not really what we were asking for. So they are like trying to make the game a bit better, but that is not what we are asking for. We are asking for being able to play in a platoon. That is what we are asking for. So it's pretty fucked up that we just don't get this. We are asking for this since day one of the game. I don't hear the impacts. That's another thing. I just don't hear the impacts of the shooting. And we won. So I just played this game to show you guys the sound implements they made. So the alarms of the car. That was not really necessary, but they did it. Another thing is, and that's a good thing, the reloading of your tank. Now you each time you get a sound if your tank is reloaded. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. And as you can see, I didn't do much. I died twice, but I'm still the best of my team. And all the rest, well, yeah. The screen looks a little bit different now. Yeah. So these are the changes during battle. Now, during this battle, I didn't have any lag at all. So the server lags where we were complaining about before the update, the stumbling of the tanks and the rotating of the gun to all sides simultaneously. So it seems that that is gone. I hope it will stay that way. But for the moment, we can't complain about that. The most things we can start complaining about now is that the game is, in my eyes, I'm very sorry about that, but that's the feeling I have. This game is really starting to be a pay-to-win game, and that's all I can say about it. There are some good things that are the server lags, the sound implementations, the fact that we get new gear and equipment is all really great and stuff, but that the equipment is only payable with gold is just ridiculous. Again, this is ridiculous. This is just the developer saying, hey man, we want your real money. Okay, this is it for this video. I don't know if I'm going to make more of them in the future. And about this update, I will see how things go. For the moment also as well, a lot of you players know that or think that I'm a bit of a middleman between you guys and the developers. So a lot of players come to me with questions and suggestions and bug reports and things like that, and some of them even come to me with problems with their account because they know that I have good contacts with one of the developers and that I could solve a lot of things right away at the same day. But I have to say this, the contact with the developers is like gone. I don't know what happened. I do know that they had a couple of crazy weeks for this update, because we got this update actually a month later than promised. But I knew that behind the scenes the guys had some crazy days behind them. Actually some crazy weeks and months. I hope that the contact with the community, with the developers, will be up and running starting this week once again. Then I will be able to answer all your questions or to help you out as good as I can. I know a lot myself, but I also have to ask a lot to the developers, and in the past that was no problem. I got an update or a response or an answer the same day or 2 days later. But now, myself, I have to wait for 2-3 weeks before I even hear something from a developer. So the lack in community between the developers or the company and the community is just hilarious, and it gives me a lot of stress. So I can't promise anything in the future. I will see how things work out with that one developer. I will see if he can deliver his promises, and yeah, we will see. I also have to work on the spreadsheet I've already made about all the tanks in the game and all their upgrade levels, and in that spreadsheet I had also all the things with the equipment and the gear and the bonus damage or whatever bonus you got from the gear and the equipment. So I all have to change that now in the spreadsheet. So meaning I still have a lot of work to do after this update. But hope to see you all again. I hope to see you on the battlefield, and maybe one day, if we get the platoon feature, we can play together. Thanks for watching, and until next time, bye.